Very interesting ILIA TOPURIA strategy. You can steal, put it into your training. It's kind of Mexican and it breaks the rules of what you first learn when you strike and doing martial arts. I'm George Hardwood, Cage Warriors lightweight champion, 13-2 professional MMA fighter, and I make a decent set of buttermilk pancakes. Okay, let's talk about the strategy. Tim Welch, Sean O'Malley's coach, alluded to this on a recent breakdown. So normally, when you learn boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, first day, you learn, how do I step forward? You move your front foot first. Front foot, back foot. Front foot, back foot. If this moves 3 inches, this moves 3 inches. This moves 6 inches, this moves 6 inches. Always keeping that balance. And there's good reason. If you take a shot at any point here, you've got a good base to absorb it and fire back, to transfer weight between legs. But old Mexican strategy, ILIA TOPURIA used this in his fight against Max Holloway, is you can kind of reverse that. You can move the back leg in first. And this has some pros and cons. If we sneak this back leg in, obviously, this is a disadvantaged position to take a shot in. If my feet, my heels are close, I'm not in the best position to take a shot. But I can extend quite a bit further, especially when I'm leading into my jab. Here, if I push forward, I can push so far forward, but then I'm very extended. So it's going to take a longer time to get myself out of range. And sometimes my back foot can be left behind where it's not a powerful shot. But if I sneak my back foot in first, sneak the back foot, boom, I can push off even further. And then my back foot's still in a good position where I can fire good shots and have good weight transfer. As well, if I'm sneaking in and my feet are quite close, I can push back much further, much more distance than usual. If I'm already extended, I can only push so far back. If I'm here extended already, chances are for me to move backwards, I'm going to end up retracting my leg. Holloway actually got caught off of this. There was that jab hook cross. Holloway had his lead leg out a bit further, retracted it, and this squared him up and put him in that bad base where he couldn't really take a shot. So sometimes you can sneak that back foot in and you can push back further. You can sneak that back foot in and then push in more on your jab, and you're already in a good stance to throw. As well, this is more like a Mexican boxing perspective, but we see this a lot with Thai fighters, and we see this a lot with Kyokushin fighters. They'll sneak this back leg in for a few reasons. One, this leg can come up and check very quickly. If you watch Giorgio Petrosian or a Samart, they're often moving around with feet quite narrow so they can bring it up to check, or boom, throw that lead leg. That lead leg becomes incredibly quick, boom, when my back leg is underneath me. The check comes really quick, and then again, I can feint it to extend into a good base for punching. As well, if you want to get really fancy with it, there's that old TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz style, where out of range, where you don't need to worry about being able to absorb the shock of impacts because you're out of their range, you're going to have time to react to it. Feet can come together to allow for shifts into either stance. Hands are a bit lower, boom, suddenly covering that distance and moving on the angle. If there's fighters you want me to break down, leave it in the comments. If you want to see more breakdowns, techniques, subscribe to the channel. If you want buttermilk pancakes, I don't make them just for anyone. And yeah, I got a Patreon. Check it out.